I've taken a few notes on my phone. Usually I script out my videos, but today I thought I would just speak more from the heart to you guys. And really the purpose of this video is that I just don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that I did. Everything that I do on this channel really is all about trying to prevent you guys from the same pitfalls. It's a channel really dedicated to my younger self. So without further ado, today I'll be sharing 3 major regrets, and they'll build up in intensity. So the first one is pretty chill. I guess it's pretty low stakes. I never finished my thesis, and the reason being I was working on it all throughout the spring semester, but not working on it very hard. Essentially my thesis, I was an East Asian Studies major, by the way, for context. My thesis was a creative literature piece where I modeled my father's descent from a really admired Chinese engineer and kind of like an intellectual in China, like his fall from grace, and how that modeled a Chinese medieval poet that I had studied in my East Asian literature course. I probably wrote 12,000 words, but I never finished the thesis. I don't think I was even 30 or 40% done. I wanted to turn it into a little novella, and quarantine and COVID just caught up. Both my parents lost their jobs, and I ended up putting the writing on hold so that I could work more, and I ended up starting a tutoring business so that I could quite literally support and feed my family. Naturally, my thesis and actually all of my grades, I emailed my professors and I asked them if I could just get an automatic pass for all my classes. They said yes. Turns out 2 weeks later, they gave an automatic pass to the entire student body, so that's not a big deal. But I do regret not finishing. I might return to it later sometime this year. It just made me reflect on how I hadn't really taken my academics in college that seriously, and I wish I pushed myself more intellectually. I wish I had struggled more. I wish I had asked myself more difficult questions and written papers that took more out of me and studied harder, because I just didn't feel like I gave college my all intellectually, and that's kind of sad to think about. I think I didn't quite fulfill my potential there. My second regret is about not trying more things during my sophomore year. And this is a really, really crucial tip, because the way that college works, guys, is you have 4 years, but you gotta wipe off senior year basically off the map, because your senior year is spent partying and also applying to jobs. So you don't actually spend all that much time on clubs, extracurricular activities. You know, the way I thought about it was I thought it was equal to high school, where in high school, I was still leading and in charge of clubs all the way until maybe the very, very end of senior year, my senior spring. But that's not the way that leadership transitions take place in college, at least not at Yale. The way leadership transitions take place is that by the end of junior year, you are totally checked out from leadership positions. Your entire senior year is spent on secret societies and, like I said, partying and job searches. So that basically gives you 3 years to focus on extracurriculars. You have freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. Junior year, you lead the clubs. But the other thing about extracurriculars in college is that they only recruit at 2 or 3 times a year. They'll recruit at the very beginning of your freshman fall, freshman spring, and then maybe a little bit at sophomore fall. But these clubs really prioritize freshmen over sophomores, because if you join as a sophomore, you're only gonna be sticking around the club for 2 years. And also a lot of sophomores don't really do these activities, because then you have to compete against other sophomores who have been working on the club since freshman year for a leadership position, and that just naturally makes your odds go down. That being said, I don't think I pushed myself to try new things after that freshman fall. I joined 2 clubs, you know, the Yale Model UN team, I did Yale Breakers. I actually tried out for a lot of different kinds of things, like I did sketch comedy, but I didn't get in. And I really regret not doing more. I regret not taking up writing at Yale, or stand-up comedy, or drama, or even trying to sing. Like, there were so many avenues that I could have pursued, and I just kind of chose to stick with what I knew, and I invented all these reasons, like the ones I just shared with you about why as a sophomore I shouldn't put myself out there, and I would be competing against these freshmen, and a lot of them already have like talent, and they've been doing stand-up for several years, and they've been doing drama for several years. At the end of the day, those were just excuses, and they say college is the time to try new things, and I just didn't even try. I didn't even show up to the tryout. And that to me is so regrettable. I also had friends who didn't do that. I had friends who just tried out for 20 things and literally just ate failure in the face. And I so admire them, and I wish I was more like them, but I wasn't at that point in time. all right, here it is. The last regret is that I wasn't really there. I wasn't really present for my friendships at Yale. And this is so disappointing. I can't believe I'm sharing this on YouTube. At any rate, what I want to say is in high school, I literally won the award for nicest guy. There is an award called the qqqq Cup, which people in your class vote for the person with the most outstanding character and leadership qualities. I mean, I was that guy who would buy birthday cards and stuff people's P.O. boxes with notes and knew everyone's name in my class and just tried to say hi to them on the path. And if I saw them struggling, I would give them little gifts and things like that. But when I went to Yale, I think maybe my first year I was pretty bubbly and outgoing. But because I was kind of getting rejected in a lot of different ways, rejected from clubs. I saw a lot of the relationships that I was investing in, people just weren't investing the same amount of energy and time back into me. And so I started just distancing myself. But I think that I shouldn't have thought about it so mechanically in an input-output way. I give in this much and therefore I should expect to receive that much. It's kind of like my dad says. My dad is always like, you know, we do nice things because that's what it means to be a human being. You don't expect anything in return. Here's the other thing. There were friends who did invest a lot into me and I just wasn't as kind to them as I know I could have been. I didn't go above and beyond for these people. And that makes me really sad. I feel like the best part about college is these relationships that you form with other people. And, you know, of course I graduated with friends. I'm not like a loner, guys. Give me a break. However, I still could have given myself more. You know what I mean? Like there was a time where I was like, I could rest, I could take a nap, or I could spend 15, 20 minutes writing this card. I could thank this person. I could buy them a snack. I could leave them a note under their dorm. And I didn't. I was just lazy. No one, it's not like anyone would call me out on that kind of stuff. But I knew that I was making this choice to not be good, and that was also a missed potential. You know, if I were to do college all over again, I would put myself way out there. I would try 100 different things, and maybe I would fail at 90 of them, and maybe I would succeed at like 2 of them. But I think rejecting yourself before you've even been rejected is a really sad thing, and I think that I would have given more of myself to the community without expecting anything in exchange. Part of the reason I wasn't able to do so is I was so caught up in my own world, my own ego. And it's not just that I was being selfish. I mean, I had real concerns. Like, how am I going to feed my family? I'm on full financial aid. What kind of job am I gonna get? I need to focus on myself before I help other people. You know, it's like that when the air cabin pressure drops and you get the mask and you need to put your mask on before you help other people. And so I was like, I need to take care of myself. I need to be in a secure place before I can really dedicate myself to helping others. Because if I focus on helping others first, this could lead to my own eventual demise and I wouldn't be able to help others in the future. But there is a such thing as a balance, Kevin. And it's important. It's important to note that you can put yourself in a secure place while helping others. In fact, this is a really insightful thesis that I have stumbled upon over the last few months, which is by you watching this video, right? Like, I am helping you. I'm advising you on how to do college. And in other words, me helping you leads to my success on this YouTube channel. It is literally what I say at the end of every single video. Your success is my success. Your ability to help others is inextricably tied to your own well-being, whether that is your physical well-being, your social well-being, your financial well-being. It was a really revolutionary concept once I stumbled upon that. And it's not like I realized this when I was like 15 years old. I think I pretty much just discovered this a few months ago. I mean, it really aligns with a lot of the startup terminology and concepts that I have been studying for the past several years. But anyways, what I'm trying to say, guys, is don't be like me. Take what I've said and do as much as you can. You're only going to get to do college once. Put yourself out there, make the most out of every day. Don't burn out, have fun, drink beer. And maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, you can share your regrets and your lessons so that someone else doesn't have to make them too. All right, guys, with that in mind, Kevin is signing out. I am constantly rooting for you all. Your success is my success. Take it easy, guys. Peace.